Hello, everyone.
It's after 4. Good evening, milady.
Good evening. How are you?
Oh, yeah, like I said. What?
It'll all be well. It'll all be well.
It shall be well.
Yes.
It's Wellness Wednesday with Ashley. And Ashley, karibu sana. Have you been?
Asante sana. I've been very good.
Yeah?
Yes.
Hold on. Let's welcome Ashley. There we go. Round of applause. So, I don't know. Now, before we get into the wellness.
Yes.
Let's just get a few minutes out the way, because I was listening, hearing but not listening, and there Mariam was interviewing her like she was INS, Ashley is talking about America, and then Mariam is giving those opinions. It's like those ones, the way Mariam's talking. You see, now, first of all, let's get Ashley is from Stato, okay, yeah, for that's what we call the good old United States of America.
Oh yes.
Now, Mariam, you Stato you've seen on TV.
Yes.
That's the closest you've been to the damn place.
Wellness Wednesday. Wellness. Please don't come for my mental health.
Lakini Mariam is telling Ashley things about her America. It's like those. You see, like have you go to Gigiri?
Yes.
The Gigiri area code.
Yes.
For that is the United Nations.
Yes.
And that's where most of the NGOs types are, right?
Yes.
Okay. And now, because we won't say that Ashley's NGO type, no. But you see, like those ones now who sit in Gigiri, then they tell you about Kenya.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
We're always in a Weshe box.
What is a Woshe? What does that mean?
Like we're such victims.
Yes. No, but now when they tell you about Kenya and you're Kenyan, how do you feel?
I always correct. I always
Thank
feel like you don't know what you're
Bah,
talking about.
bahs. So say sorry.
No, I'm not, because she agreed with me. Eventually, she said she actually agrees with me.
Are you serious?
It's
Yes.
good dialogue. I said on some things, it's good dialogue to have, and I think it's really important to, talk from every perspective, to disagree, to then eventually agree. I like that saying. So, yes.
Ashley, I love the way you put things together, by the way. Now, so that said, so should we ask her the question? Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we ask her? What advice would you give Kenyans who are coming back, who have been deported from America?
Karibu sana. This is where life is.
This is
yes.
Stop
What are
running
you
away.
doing there?
Thank
Karibu.
you.
I could fly back to the U.S. any day, but I'm here. I'm raising my boys. I'm so happy with their school, the lifestyle, the fresh food, the weather. What is there?
So, So,
I love my fellow Americans. I do. But there's a lot of chaos at the moment. So I think it's better for everyone's mental health. Just Karibu Kenya. This is home.
Did you see the one where there's a guy, somebody recording from a window, and then the cops, INS, they're outside, is saying, George Jagona, the building is surrounded.
I saw that.
You saw that one?
Yes.
I was like, Kwani, this is Harrison Ford, the fugitive.
Yes.
It's a movie one.
And imagine, it's only been like 6 days. What is going to happen in the first month? Oh my God.
Listen, because this is globally, we're online, and we're live streaming this on Facebook. Please, Wellness Wednesday. Just take yourself to the airport. You don't need all of that, by the way. Panda ndege without
Cut
those
the
two
drama.
chains. Yeah. Just
come freely. It's amazing. I love Kenya.
And you see, the thing is, and we get a lot, and we ape a lot from the global north, the west, especially good old United States of America. And like we said, when we thought about, getting it right, getting it together in 2025, it is said in the UK, by the way, 1 in 2 people will get cancer, Ashley.
Yeah, I believe it. The stats keep going higher and higher with chronic disease, cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and it all comes down to lifestyle and the way we're eating. So I always say, there's so many factors that impact whether or not we're going to get these chronic diseases, but focus on the ones that you're in control of, your diet and exercise.
It's your diet and exercise. And I think we've started off on the right footing in Jan. With when it comes to diet, they don't get better and more professional and more qualified, I would hazard to say, than Ashley. And you know what? She's you hear about nutritionists, but Mariam and I now got you a proper certified dietitian. I'm very proud to say that, by the way. Woo-hoo. So and we said, don't get tired. Usichoke. So for the month of Jan, so this is your third time doing it.
Yes.
So please intro yourself again.
Okay.
Ashley, please.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Ashley, and I am a board-certified registered dietitian, both in the United States and Kenya. So I have a BS, so Bachelor's of Science degree, and 15 years of experience. So everything I talk about is really based on science and rooted in science. And so I see my job as empowering you with the correct science-based information so that you're able to make the best decision when it comes to food and nutrition that's right for you and your family in an individualized way.
Beautiful. And she reels it off. Eh? Mm-hmm. Okay, so...
I said that a few times.
You know? Do you know they have various food types. Mm-hmm. Okay, and we're not talking about the carbs and the proteins and all
fruits
of that
and
stuff.
vegetable food groups.
No.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about the way food is consumed.
Mm-hmm.
Soy was a thing. Okay, and have you ever been into that soy kind of thing? No. And then obviously there's raw and cooked food.
Yes.
Okay, and we want to talk about the title, the label is Superfoods. Is it?
It's raw versus uncooked. So there's many topics we can go to, but I think
uncooked.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really interesting topic because you hear about raw foods, raw food diets. You know, we've been talking about these fad diets and things. So what do you think? What is healthier?
Right.
Raw or uncooked?
Exactly. So
or raw or cooked, sorry.
Yes. So this is the question that we are asking. And we really want you to get involved. How do you get involved? Either get onto Spice FM KE, or better yet, you know what? Ashley really, really wants to engage you, Wena. Okay? Not us engage her. Not you engage her through us. Okay? So what you got to do is also dial that number 0719012600. That's 0719012600. It's Wellness Wednesday with Ashley. So let's talk about food. Is raw food best? How do you cook your food? Or how do you maintain the highest nutritional content in your dish? Okay? Which oils do you use for which cooking and why? She's been telling us about canola last week. Then there's all this thing about coconut oil. And then which is that one in the supermarket? The one that everyone's against? The one that comes in 5-liter containers? What? Oh? The one.
The vegetable oil.
Vegetable oil.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it really that bad? Let's get to grips with that topic. Quick, fast, minor, slow. So, set the ball rolling, Ashley.
Okay.
Now, is raw food best? Because you say if you cook food, the nutritional content.
Yes, I've heard that. Yeah. So
Yes.
what do you think?
Honestly, now this is what we do.
Yes.
Okay. Meat, by the way, unless I'm in a Japanese restaurant, is definitely cooked.
Yes.
Okay. And because even I was about to get. You've made me now when you're talking about Trump. The Warriors eat raw. The Ethiopians, they've got raw meat. Have you eaten that?
I haven't eaten, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Because to me, every time I think, because obviously, even when we fry our meat, steak.
Yes.
Now I'm like, I'm honestly medium rare.
Yes.
Never well done.
Yes.
Because then it's a useless piece of meat. But then my vegetables, I do prefer my salads, which of course
are raw.
Okay. The food cooked. Obviously, vegetables are part of food.
So you eat your vegetables cooked? Because I think the biggest thing comes from, should we cook our vegetables or should we eat them raw? And what is better?
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
So I hear all the time that raw is better because...
No. Ash, let me ask you this way.
Yes.
Is raw meat bad? Now, I'm asking you as a man.
Like beef, like raw beef.
Yes.
There are foodborne illness potential. You run food safety risk. So if you just go on the street and you just have raw meat, I would not endorse that. That is not based on science to be healthy. Okay. Because so what you need to do is you do need to cook that, and every meat should be cooked to a different internal temperature to make sure that all those microbes are killed.
Sure.
Okay. Sure. So, but when you talk about a medium rare steak that has blood on the inside, it's okay because what you've done is you pan-seared the outside, all the outer parts of that meat, and there's nothing that inside did not touch the outside. So the inside has not been exposed to microorganisms. So it is safe to eat it like that.
Okay.
And sushi is safe because it's been treated in a proper way. The temperature has been very cold to freeze any potential parasites.
But we cannot do the same with chicken or pork.
Or cubed beef even, or like minced beef, right? Because all of that has been exposed to air, to microbes, to bacteria. bacteria. So you must cook all those other meats fully.
And remember,
steak is the only exception, and unless the Ethiopian way, and I know they have their own way with like honey and something else that they do. Yeah.
Yes. But that also is iffy.
Yeah, and I'll leave that up to everybody.
Exactly.
You know, I want to respect cultures.
Exactly.
But yeah,
I knew you do that.
when it comes to me and you know giving advice on cooked meat, yes. So the steak would be the only option as long as you cook the outside of it. Then nothing is on the inside of it because that hasn't been touched, right? Until you cut through it.
How about chicken that is not cubed?
Yeah, still
like the breast.
Because chicken still is high risk for like salmonella and other foodborne illnesses. So beef is the only one that you can have medium rare.
And
nothing else.
Goat probably too, yeah?
Huh?
Goat meat?
Goat, yes, you could probably have that medium rare as well, as long as it's like the steak, but not the cubes.
Okay.
It has to be the steak that hasn't been touched. But still, I would have to double check on that one.
Yeah.
Pork, by the way, now they're saying you can do medium rare with pork. As long as you're cooking the outsides and as long as it's in like the steak. Yes. Now, I don't know how I personally feel about that one. Again, cooking is always ideal to destroy any microorganisms to prevent that foodborne illness. But that is technically considered okay. Again, as long as it's in that steak cut. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And you're cooking the outside.
Right.
Yeah, to kill those microorganisms so the inside has not been touched.
Let's go to, if we are from the Kavirondo Basin, let's go to fish.
Yes. So fish needs to be cooked as well to a certain temperature unless it's sushi. And sushi is a different grade of fish that has been treated differently.
Right.
It's immediately frozen and frozen for a certain amount of time in a cooler temperature.
And that's tuna, right?
That's tuna, that's salmon, any of those types of fish, eel, things like that. But you have to have it in a very low temperature for a certain period of time to kill specific parasites that can exist in the fish that obviously won't be killed because you haven't cooked it. So then you need that freezing mechanism that's in place. So that is, very important to follow. Yeah.
Now, so that obviously, that's the protein. Mariam, you good with that one?
Yes, I'm good with that.
Now, let's talk, so obviously it comes with the sides.
Yes.
All right. Now, there's potato, rice, and that.
Yeah.
Those two things. Forget salads.
Yeah. So we're going to talk carbs now.
Carbs.
Yes.
They're called carbs. That's what I was looking for.
Yes.
Ashley, can we have raw carbs?
So it depends. Like quinoa, you can have uncooked. Like you can put that in salads if people are familiar with that. But
What's that?
Quinoa, it's like a rice. It's from South America. So it's like, it almost looks like a couscous, like those little tiny balls there. Yeah, it's a grain. And it's becoming more popular, I guess, in Kenya. But when it comes to like rice and pasta and potatoes, you must cook those because otherwise, first of all, how are you going to chew raw rice and chew pasta? What is that going to do to your teeth? Is it going to be an enjoyable experience? Also, what is the flavor, right? We have to enjoy our food. But then also the fibers are inaccessible, and so what is that going to do to your gut, to your tummy? How is that going to feel? Also, you're not going to get all those nutrients. So those foods have to be cooked as well. So some foods have to be cooked in order to get out those nutrients.
Okay.
So think about like an egg. Yeah.
Yes.
And if you don't cook some of those, that egg is whole. How do you get to the inside of the egg where the nutrients are if you don't cook it? And when you cook it, the shells are broken and all those nutrients are released. So think about that. Is that kind of an image that you guys can have?
It is.
So I want to talk about vegetables, for instance, because so many people say raw vegetables are good. They have the enzymes, you lose nutrients, blah, 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 things like that. And I will say that is true. You can lose water-soluble vitamins, especially your B vitamins and vitamin C. You can have reduced amounts of that in your vegetables when you cook them. However, if you don't cook your vegetables, you're not able to extract the fiber fully to get those benefits, or vitamin A, or even some antioxidants if you don't cook your food. So imagine there is a list of vegetables that I have in front of me that have been scientifically proven to have more nutrients, more bioavailable nutrients for your body to absorb more readily and more efficiently when they are cooked. Can I give you the list?
Break it down.
Okay.
Break it down.
Tomatoes, when they are cooked, you get more nutrients from them, specifically lycopene, which is the antioxidant that has been shown and proven to reduce your risk for cancer.
Now, now this is very cancer, tomatoes, and let's be very, very, we're going to take them slow and each chew by one.
Okay.
Yes.
When we say cooked. Because in the local context,
Yes.
no one boils a whole tomato for nothing, okay?
Yes.
It's you, kata kata.
And you fry it with your onions.
You fry it with the onions?
Yes.
And then that's the base for your
cooking.
for your dish.
Stew, everything, yeah.
Yes.
So that's great.
good?
So keep that up.
Sharp.
In terms of you are cooking that tomato enough
Bas.
now to make that lycopene more bioavailable to your body to absorb it more effectively and efficiently.
I like this.
So that is more healthy than having kachumbari, for example, in the raw form. But that is not to say kachumbari is not healthy.
Okay.
It is. You're going to get more of your vitamin C when it's raw, but you will get more lycopene when it's cooked. So the point is, have your kachumbari one day, have your cooked tomatoes the next, or have kachumbari at one meal, have your cooked tomatoes in your stew for dinner.
What is critical in this one, Mariam, is that lycopene and the barrier against cancer.
Yes.
That is what is key, because that is starting to finish us guys here a good one. True.
And all around the world, yes. So what you'll see from this is raw is not better, cooked is not better. The idea is have both. So you get both of the, all of the nutrients from that particular food. And you'll notice I'm not extreme in any of my recommendations. It's very balanced and well-rounded. And how do you enjoy these foods, right?
I love it.
Is there anything like overcooking when it comes to tomatoes, for example?
So if you do overcook, not necessarily, really, no, because it's pureed, it's in soups, it's in stews, you're still getting more of that lycopene. So think of like the tomato sauce and the tomato soups like that you put with minced meat. That's very, very nutritious.
Yes.
So think lycopene rich. Yes. Okay. As long as you're not burning it, right? Because when we burn something, then it's carcinogenic and things like that. Yeah.
So Ash, I know you've got a list.
Yeah.
But, okay, no. Let me not jump the gun. Go on, next.
Okay, carrots are more nutritious when they're cooked. So think about when you're chewing a carrot. It's very hard, Your teeth cannot masticate and break down that carrot small enough.
And just pause. I remember we say a carrot a day keeps the doctor away.
An apple.
Yours was an apple.
Yes.
Maybe it's because of the ice. It was a carrot.
So thank you. So actually, when you cook carrots, there's more vitamin A that is released in the cooking process of carrots. Yes. And also more antioxidants. Again, antioxidants reverse cell damage and prevent chronic disease like cancer. Okay. Wow. And then also it's easier for your body to digest because it's cooked, so you can chew it more thoroughly. If you don't chew your food thoroughly, you are also not able to extract all those nutrients.
Sharp.
Does that make sense? So pay attention to your chewing. Don't choke food down.
Bas.
You know what I mean? Chew it, masticate it properly. Digestion starts in the mouth. Yeah. Spinach, this is a big one. Spinach and kale. In the local Kenyan context, I mean, how do you eat ugali without this? Let's be honest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is better cooked.
Yeah.
Yes.
Half cooked.
Cooked, like sauteed. It can be sauteed or however you're going to do it. But the point is that it's cooked. So what's key about this is in kale and spinach, they have anti-nutrients in them. Okay, called oxalates. Now this stops your body from absorbing iron and calcium in the spinach and the kale. Now, the cooking process destroys those oxalates, so now you can absorb the iron and the calcium in the spinach and kale.
Oh.
I think where Mariam is going with this one, this, is it possible to overcook? Because we're told that, if you add water and then you cook it for 20 minutes, then it just becomes mush.
So if it's mushy, so it's not even enjoyable. Why are you even doing that? That would be my first point.
Right.
And then, of course, you are losing some of those water-soluble vitamins still in that water. So again, don't cook with tons of water, because then you are, when we boil our vegetables, right, you are losing those water-soluble vitamins like vitamin C and your B vitamins, for example. So if you like to cook that way, then
even without draining the water. When you say boil, you're talking about boiling.
Yes. So don't drain that water or put that water in the stew or keep it in your meat stew or something, so you're still able to get those nutrients. But I would rather you saute and steam because you're still cooking it to still make those nutrients more bioavailable. Yeah. But now the nutrients are being lost in that water. Does that make sense? And then we throw away that water.
Yes, it does,
Yeah. Okay. Broccoli is another one that is healthier when cooked. mushrooms, asparagus, sweet potatoes, another local food. But again, who eats raw sweet potatoes? So this is what I ask. I'm like, when people say I'm on a raw food diet, so what does that mean? You eat everything raw?
Yes.
And like, how is that enjoyable? How is that sustainable? And again, is it possible? Look at your teeth condition. Look at the nutrition you're getting.
Right.
But also, we have to be very honest with ourselves. Where are we getting these from? We know that there's a lot of foodborne illnesses, food safety kind of things. So when we cook our foods, we're also reducing that risk as well.
Okay, now because Mariam is from Eldoret, she skipped the broccoli and the asparagus. You know, that's another one.
No problem. No problem.
I actually eat that, but steamed.
Good.
No, now, sorry, I was trying to multitask.
Yeah.
What did you say about mushrooms? Because
Mushrooms, they're better cooked. You get more nutrition when you cook them.
Okay.
That's one of the ones that's better when you cook it.
Okay, how it doesn't obviously. What we want to know? Okay, as I was being told this thing about me because of yesterday I made. Do you know what deconstructed shepherd's pie is?
No.
Yeah, you see, I've been watching the Food Channel.
Oh, yeah.
It is mashed potato and
the vegetable.
Minced meat. Yeah, shepherd's pie is obviously a pie.
Yes.
You put the mince and then the viazi on top, then you put in the oven. So deconstructed. The word is
Deconstructed shepherd's pie.
It's just mashed potato and minced meat.
I need to visit you.
And she was like, "Just call it mashed potato and minced meat." For crying out loud. It's not a deconstructed shepherd's
pie.
pie.
Deconstructed. It sounds fancy.
You know exactly. So my mushrooms though. Fry it because it's got a lot
or
of liquid.
saute it. I like to say the word saute,
yeah?
and then you use your good oil, right? Yes. So that would be again that canola oil, because it may it doesn't burn at a high temperature when you're sautéing them, and then you're getting omega-3s.
Okay.
So omega-3s reduce inflammation in our body, lower our risk for chronic disease, and they're good for helping our cholesterol levels as well.
So that's what mushrooms are good for.
Yes.
If cooked well.
Oh, mushrooms, the oil I'm talking about.
No. We're going to talk about oil separately.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. So the mushrooms, we do want to cook those because then you are getting more nutrients from them. Again, specific antioxidants that we talked about that reverses cell damage. And then also even vitamin D can be found in some of our mushrooms as well, which is very unique because there's not a lot of foods that have vitamin D.
Okay. Okay. Next.
Yeah. So that basically concludes my list. So I basically just wanted to share with you guys that the point is that raw isn't always best and that cooked isn't always best, but have these foods in a combination. Everything in moderation. Have variety. Don't just focus on one vegetable or one fruit because it's considered a superfood.
Right.
You know what I mean? The superfood piece comes from the variety because every vegetable, every meat, every fruit, all of them have different nutrients and our body needs all of them to thrive.
What's cheese good for?
So are there any veggies that are better off when they're eaten raw?
So I would say than any of the other ones that I didn't list because these vegetables that I specifically listed are, lettuce, of course, raw would be better. Yep.
The bell pepper?
The bell pepper, yes. Yep.
Better raw?
Yep.
In fact, somebody told me what is bell pepper in Swahili?
Pili pili hoho.
Oh, yes. I'm told pili pili hoho, by the way, is absolutely useless. It's got no value.
Hapana, that is not true. It is very high in vitamin C. Actually, it's very, very high in vitamin C. Actually, it's higher in vitamin C than a lot of our fruits.
Yes.
To be, for example. And then vitamin C helps our bodies increase the iron absorption. So like from meat. So if you have meat that has iron, and then if you have a salad with, pili pili hoho on the side, now you're helping your body absorb the iron.
I think then she just didn't like my deconstructed shepherd's pie.
Cucumber?
Yeah, raw. Yep.
Okay.
So all of those.
So there's some things out there.
Okay.
So the ones I specifically listed, you want to make sure you consume them cooked.
Now there's one that obviously we all use, but I want to know what specifically its benefits are. Onions, actually. You've not mentioned that one.
So that one definitely, cooked would be better. So in terms of the specific nutrients, I wouldn't be able to call those off the top of my head, but I would just know that they have a variety of nutrients as well. So again, every single fruit and vegetable is going to have a variety of nutrients, and we want to have a variety in all of the fruits and vegetables.
Okay. Now I'm going to be very selfish here.
Okay.
Because I love me my cheese.
Me too.
Good. So, and she's a dietitian. So it's not a problem, ne?
Everything in moderation. So cheese is a great source of calcium for our bones. It also has protein.
Right.
So when we think of cheese, that is what we think of. Okay. It also has great flavor, things like that. Now, a portion of cheese is about 20 grams. That is a serving size of cheese. So let me give that to you in a visual.
Thank you. Yes.
Yes. So dice. Yeah, 4 dice. That's about 20 grams of cheese.
Okay.
Or like the sliced cheese.
Yes.
That's like 20 grams.
Okay.
But I would encourage you to get the cube.
When Ashley says dice, those things that you throw on a table in a casino.
Yes. Thank you. Yes. Now, I would like you to get more of like the less processed cheese, right? So like the one that's in like the block cheese, right? That you cut yourself. Yeah, so that's what I want. That is real, genuine cheese. Sometimes the other ones that are in the slices can be processed cheese product.
Yes.
So not actual cheese product. Yeah.
Like the ones you get on the burgers.
Yes. So you'd rather buy the whole block and then shred it to be, something, and then you make your burgers at home and put that on top. Good clarification.
Okay. And finally, then we find them here now in the supermarkets here. The corianders et al. What about those?
Like the herbs and stuff?
Yes.
So that is amazing. So that's another way to get other nutrients as well, especially those antioxidants. And it gives more natural flavor to foods. So we don't have to use all the Ryco and all the salt and all of those things to flavor our foods. We get natural flavor from that, but then we're also adding more nutrition.
Oh, thank you for... Maria Buana. I'm asking this
you love the
question.
kitchen. I see you.
So, thank you. Because now in terms of herbs,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Ash, I find that in the better supermarkets or the bigger ones, let's not disparage for. Don't know who's listening. These herbs, you find that the fresh ones.
Yes.
Then the ones in the chupa on the shelf.
The processed ones.
Yeah.
The processed one, like
powdered coriander.
Oh, yes. I see what you're saying. Yes.
Garlic in whatever.
Yes.
Fresh better?
Yes. Fresh is better when it comes to the herbs.
Yes.
And you'd rather also do fresh garlic as opposed to like the powdered ones and things like that.
Yes.
However, as long as it's a genuine garlic powder or genuine mixed herbs from a good quality company, they're still going to be good. But when it comes to nutrition, fresh is going to be best. It's also going to give you a better flavor.
So,
and that's my personal opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
Madam, so does that mean cheap is expensive?
Very.
Yeah.
Always.
So when we are in the supermarket and we're going through that shelf, the one for 300 bob and the one for 120. Here 120, maybe it came from Kariobangi South.
Yes.
Wachana na hiyo. We're together.
Invest in your health with the nutrition, good quality food, and you can't go wrong.
And the herbs are not expensive.
They're not. And the other thing too is, you guys, literally, wherever you live, you can grow your own herbs in your house.
Oh yeah.
In like a little thing, put them by your window.
Yes.
And that's what I do. It saves you money. There's nothing used in it. You're in control. They're right there. It's convenient. So that's another great thing to do as well. And they smell amazing.
I love it.
Is it okay to wash your vegetables with soap? People do that actually.
They do.
To get rid of the insecticides. You do too. You said you actually do too.
With soap?
I said that.
Oh, yes, you just
with
did.
Soap.
What do they use? Because I've seen people actually do that, Quach.
Hold on. Listen.
So you can't get off those kind of things.
You know
with
why?
soap.
They're trying to get rid of the pesticides.
No, please, let's just be clear. And okay, I'm not brand endorsing here. But me, for example, in the kitchen, we use Axion paste.
Yes.
What are you talking? I get me my Axion and a sponge, and today with the coriander I buy here in that supermarket, I go and watch it with Axion.
People do that. I'm not even joking.
Kenyans, what's wrong with you?
I've seen that come
with soap. I actually have too, especially with fruits from the market and stuff.
Yeah.
So
With
soap.
soap.
It's not going to hurt it if it's like a watermelon and has like a thick peel. That's fine. And it's probably good to do that because then once your knife cuts through, it doesn't bring the bacteria in. But again, it's always good to know where your products are coming from, what is the risk of the microorganisms, things like that. But this is not something you'd want to do with like an apple where you're going to eat the skin, to use the soap and things like that. So we'd want to use things that are, approved to eat, to consume. So if you're really concerned about that and feel good about it, you can buy those vegetable washes if you're really into that, or you can just do vinegar and water.
That could,
or the other thing you can do is boil hot water and then just put, like, for instance, your apple in there for 15 seconds, and then that would kill any of those outer microorganisms.
So for the lettuce, for the bell pepper, you can use the vinegar and water. That's enough. That's sufficient.
Yeah, and I personally just use filtered water.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's to each your own.
All right. Now, thank you. Now, when we get back, of course, to cook the food, you can either steam the damn thing, or then we're going to use particular oils.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So we are going to talk about those oils because me on the group of Majets, now the end of 2024 and the beginning of this year, it has been all about coconut oil. I remember when Ashley landed on week 1, she did mention something about coconut oil. What oil are you using? Ashley's been on a canola trip. What oil are you using? And what questions do you have about that oil? We want you to get on there, dial that number 0719012600 or Spice FM KE, that is online. Ask Ashley the question. It's all about Wellness Wednesday with Ashley. We're getting back and talk about oil. We could call it cooking oil.
Cooking oil.
Next, what's the best route backdoor into the good old United States of America? We don't want that.
God, no.
Okay, so ask any question diet related, ne?
Yes.
And sorry, Ash, what's we didn't ask you that at the beginning of the hour. What's your handle?
Oh, it's .thyme_. So it's .time, spelled like the herb.
Yes.
Food pun intended.
Right. Now, speaking of food, cooking oil.
Yes.
I have been, by the way, please ask those questions 0719012600 or get on to Spice FM KE. Uliza Ashley is Oswali. Now, speaking of cooking, we've spoken about raw versus cooked.
Yes.
All right. And the big take for me there, Mariam, was tomatoes are good as a cancer barrier.
Yes.
Tomatoes are key. Can there be too much
Cooked.
of that? Cooked, rather, sorry.
Yeah,
Yes,
cooked ones
indeed.
because of the lycopene specifically.
Indeed. Lycopene, I like that. Now, Ashley, like I said, you've obviously got women's. Do you have strictly girl groups?
No.
Mariam? No, you don't have those?
I don't.
You're one of those people, eh?
Yeah.
You're the modern woman, eh? Well, us guys, my gents, we still have the boys groups.
We still have boys groups.
Yes. And there we'll talk about in terms of aside from how too much woman can be bad woman. You know.
Too much woman can be bad.
No, we have got a guest. You understand?
Yeah.
It's about the oils that we used to cook. And for the vegetable oil.
Yes.
These ones that you find in the supermarket that you don't want, buy one, get one free. And canola, I knew about canola. But the big one, as the end of last month, that's December, yeah? And up to now is the new kid on the block is coconut
oil.
But then Ashley came on week 1, that's 3 weeks ago. And yes, you gave it an endorsement, but it wasn't
coconut
ringing.
oil.
But what?
No, coconut. She said it's saturated.
Bas.
Yes. I was like,
Hey.
whoa, we need to correct that. No.
So I went to the group. I'm like, guys, it's a problem.
Yeah.
Coconut oil is a no. Then that started a whole new ruckus.
So tell me, so what did they say?
No, they said, but coconuts, they are not manufactured because vegetable oil, apparently.
Oh, because they're worried about the processing of it.
Yes,
So they're
yes.
saying like the processing of it makes makes all the difference. Okay, great. So I think they're talking about virgin cold pressed coconut oil, and they're talking not necessarily the coconut oil is healthy, but the way in which it was made or created.
In fact, that's exactly what somebody said.
Okay. Yes, because that's the big debate.
Yes.
So we need to look at both pieces of it, okay? So there's refined oils that use chemicals to extract the oils out of the seeds or whatever it is. Some people are opposed to that, even though it's considered scientifically safe, okay?
Yes.
And then there's cold pressed.
Okay.
So that's where you just reduce the temperature, and then that's how you extract the oil out of the seed. So
Right.
no chemicals are used. So you can choose refined or cold pressed. That's your personal preference, whatever you choose. But you do need to make sure that you're choosing a healthy oil, and then you can decide which way you want it to be processed. You have that option here.
Okay. Now, and then I remember Ashley, so she also spoke about ghee. Remember?
Yes.
Now, there is a guy. I'm speaking for my gents.
Yeah.
He's got his cans on. He's in the supermarket right now.
Okay.
Ashley, now before you break them down, just tell the guy from worstest to bestest. Yani, this one is a no.
Okay.
Long story short, this one, forget.
Okay, so I like to say everything in moderation,
Indeed.
right? I don't like to cast one thing out, but the worst oils or fats to cook with would be coconut oil, palm oil,
Wow.
or vegetable oil.
The worst.
The worst. The worst, yes. So we have a heart disease epidemic, yeah? Many people, have high cholesterol, right?
Yeah.
What increases our cholesterol in our blood? It is saturated fat. think saturated S, solid for room temperature, sticking to my veins and arteries. Coconut oil is solid at room temperature. And it has 13 grams of saturated fat in 1 tablespoon. You see that small thing you put your sugar in your tea? That amount of coconut oil has 13 grams. That is somebody's entire daily allowance of saturated fat. So please tell me what that is doing for your heart health. We have many other better options. Let's focus on unsaturated fat. Monounsaturated, which is most prevalent in the Mediterranean diet, and omega-3s. We've heard all about omega-3s being really good, anti-inflammatory, good for the heart, the brain, all of this stuff. Yeah.
Wow. Now, also here, I don't know, Mariam, do we have labeling? Because she says in the supermarket, because I don't notice these things.
Yes.
Do you look at that? Yeah, the labels, unsaturated, saturated. No. Are they labeled? Let's start there.
No, I don't think so.
So how does one tell?
It depends. Some of them are labeled, right? And then some of them, we have these laws, but who's really enforcing these laws to make sure that they're accurate? So that's where I get concerned. So the best thing to do is you can do like a Google search and make sure it's from a reputable source. Right. And you can say, what is the nutrition facts panel of coconut oil in a 1 tablespoon serving? And then it will tell you, so it's going to be the same. Coconut oil is coconut oil. It's going to be generally the same.
Okay, good. So you mentioned something about the oil being solid in at room temperature.
Yes.
But most of the oils are not actually solid nowadays at room temperature.
So they are, but like with the heat, so when it's room temperature, if they're solid, but on hot days, these things will liquefy, but then that's not room temperature, right? So if you look at coconut oil, it is solid. It is not liquid.
Coconut is usually solid, like throughout.
Yes.
Yes, coconut.
So then
ghee.
that's solid at room temperature. Ghee, butter, all those sorts of things. Margarine.
Okay, but the one she's referring to, the one that comes in a 5-liter whatever.
Yes. So that's liquid. So that's vegetable oil. Yes. Okay, sorry.
That's
so that's
what everyone actually reads.
Yes. Okay, so that's what you're asking me about. Yes. Yeah. So now that's what we want to look at. We want to look at the ingredient list, and hopefully that's accurate. We want to see what actual vegetables are these oils being derived from.
Yes.
Yeah? Is it soybean? Is it canola? Yeah. Is it coconut? Is it palm? And many times you will see a blend. And I have seen where it's coconut and palm. And when it's like the package, you can't see through it. You don't really know if it has some solids in it or if it's all liquid. Yeah. So it's very interesting. So take a look the next time you're at the supermarket. Again, knowledge is power. Look at it.
Vegetable oil. That's what they are. Now, you also did not have very kind words for one that, in fact, growing up traditionally,
yes,
African culture, the ones that we used to use where we come from, which is Lake Victoria, Luo Nyanza, it is more ghee.
Yes.
Ghee. And I remember you said something about it the other week, and I saw Mariam's face. Her jaw literally wanted to hit the floor. She's like, Ashley, what are you talking?
Yes, because we hear so many of these things. So again, everything in moderation. So ghee is just clarified butter. And so personally, I use butter in my house. I have it on my toast every single morning. But we need to be mindful that it is still a saturated fat. So use it in small amounts, and then make sure your other fats throughout the day are from sources of heart healthy fats. Avocados, nuts, seeds, your canola oil that I am talking about, avocado oil if you can afford, extra virgin olive oil if you can afford. But if you can't, no big deal. The canola oil in Kenya is locally made, and it is very affordable. It very much compares to those vegetable oils in terms of cost.
It is.
Go look.
No, I actually I've been investing in that because we use it in the food.
Yeah, and you can use it in everything. Chapati, doing your onions, your kitunguu, your nyanya.
Yes. Now, so I need you. Wow, time goes. I need you to rank them first to last.
So there's a million and one oil,
including vegetable oil. How would you break them down? Let's give because we can't, she can't do all 30,000 of them.
Yes.
Okay, so vegetable oil sits there where?
So there's olive oil, there's vegetable oil.
Okay.
Canola.
Okay, how about this? Could I say what I would encourage people to have in their homes?
I like that.
Okay, because then what would I recommend people have in their homes? I would recommend that you have canola oil in your homes because it's most affordable, it's locally made, and you can use it for anything.
Good. That's for me. Breakfast, bacon and eggs. There I can use
everything.
That to fry. Fantastic.
Yes. And also your onions, and also your stew, and also your skooma, literally everything. So let's do that, and let's get that affordable. Now, if budget isn't an issue for you, then I would say let's also add extra virgin olive oil because, as I said, the canola oil is omega-3s and the extra virgin olive oil is monounsaturated fats. So these are two different types of unsaturated fats that are very healthy for you. And we want to have the variety of heart-healthy fats. We don't just want to focus on one. But again, if you get the canola oil, it's omega-3s, and there's no way we're getting enough omega-3s. So that makes me very, very happy. So in an affordable home, you would get canola oil, and then you would eat avocado because the avocado is giving you the monounsaturated fat, the same fat that's in the olive oil, but it's more affordable and it's locally everywhere, right? Especially when it's in season. So that's what I would say. I want to keep it very simple.
I like that.
Yeah.
But sorry. Are we going to vegetable? Because you said that we need to look at the label. So what are we looking out for?
Yeah.
What ingredients do we need to look out for?
To be honest, for vegetable oil, I wouldn't recommend it when I have other options because most vegetable oils are going to be like from sunflower seed oil. And I know that that's a big thing in this country. But, it's omega-6s. Yes, it's an unsaturated fat. Yes, it's heart healthy. But we get too many omega-6s and not enough of those omega-3s. And so when we have that imbalance, it creates inflammation and puts our body at risk for chronic disease. Oh. So I want us to focus more on those omega-3s. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Okay, it does.
Yeah.
Okay, now, Jesus, Ash. Okay, right. Listen, then, and because ghee, and we love our Indian food.
Yeah.
Yes, and even me, I love.
You know.
Yes, and roti with ghee is the best.
So the best. So that one. In moderation again.
Yes. So have it. So just be mindful of the amount of ghee that you're putting on your roti.
Okay.
Or be mindful of the amount of ghee that you're making with your eggs. And then the rest of the day, have your avocados, your canola oil, your nuts and seeds.
Right.
You see, so it's all about that balance and moderation.
And then something else, and you mentioned it as well. Apple, in Kenya, we don't say cider. Cider. Vinegar.
Or apple cider.
Yeah. What's that about?
Apple cider vinegar.
Yes.
Okay, like taking it for health reasons. Yeah, so there's no scientific evidence to say that. People will say it supports your digestion. People will say that it helps you lose weight. People will say it clears your skin. Literally a million and one things, but that's not evidence proven. And actually, I get more concerned, like, are you enjoying that? It is a very, very bitter taste. So if you're not enjoying something, it's not sustainable, and why are you doing it? And then also, I'm very worried if people have ulcers or acidity, because it will only cause that to get worse and can actually do some serious damage. So we need to be very, very mindful of these things.
All right.
Let me ask one for my husband then.
Yes.
Water. Between a meal.
Yeah.
What's the best time to have water? Is it before, during, after? And how much water? Because you can have as much water as you want.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you're getting hydrated enough. And I would say drinking it regularly throughout the day, not just, skipping 3 hours and then chugging down something.
Ash, me lady, you did say everything in moderation.
Yeah, okay, everything in moderation, yes. So drinking water throughout the day, and I'd recommend about 3 liters on average in general, what people should have to stay hydrated, electrolytes, for their skin, for their kidneys, their liver, detoxifying, all these sorts of things.
Does too much water slow down the digestion? I read about that before.
So people say that, but not necessarily.
Because that's why I asked.
It gets you to feel full. Yeah, sometimes. So then people would eat less. So that there's kind of that concept. But in terms of digestion, you're okay.
Okay. Mariam, what is your relationship with soy? You see, like, I mentioned this because, when I went to fix my face, you see, like, this operation I had on the side of my face.
Yes.
And the cream, the surgeon told me, now it smells of soy. So some people might either be disgusted, shrink away from you, or others might try and lick your face.
Ooh.
So
very interesting.
So I put it on and like I smell of food. What's your relationship with soy?
I've never ever come across soy. Never smelled it. Never touched it. Never seen it. I don't know.
Is that a mind thing?
No, I've just never.
It's just not available here.
Yes,
it's not super popular in Kenya.
Yes.
Yeah.
But now, how? Because the soy milk, it's now a big thing. And yes, like I said, even yesterday, so chocolate, soy, almond, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, a million and one.
Yes. What is soy is it healthy?
So soy comes from the soybean,
Yes.
from a plant.
Sharp.
It is healthy. It's a great source of plant-based protein. It has antioxidants. It has phytochemicals, plant chemicals like antioxidants, things like that. It helps to reduce your cholesterol levels. It helps to reduce your risk for chronic disease. And actually, soy milk is the only plant-based milk that actually has protein. So almond milk does not have protein. Oat milk does not have protein. Hazelnut milk does not have protein. Coconut milk does not have protein. It is the only plant-based. So if you have an allergy to dairy or to milk, that is the one I recommend, because then you're still getting protein. Because cow's milk has 8 grams of protein per cup, and soy is very comparative, 7 to 8 grams as well.
Okay.
The other ones don't have protein. So be mindful when we say we're having a dairy-free milk and we think it's healthier.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the only one found in Kenya that has protein.
Okay, now, Ashley, next week, we have run out of time. We want to talk about, when you talk about food and allergies, okay, we've got to talk about if one is allergic to certain things.
Yes.
What are the alternatives?
Yes, that's a great one. So, if they're allergic to gluten, for example, what can they have for substitutions? If they're allergic to dairy,
there we go.
What can they have for substitutions that will still give them those same nutrients? Absolutely. And let's talk about gluten-free. Like, is it healthier or is it not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, my lady, Ashley Kibuda, thank you so very
Asante
much.
Sana. It was a pleasure as always.
Oh, man. And
Time flies.
Yeah, she's a dynamo. She's So, Ash, what's your handle again there?
It's .time, THYME, food pun intended, _